Hi guys, welcome to the AutoCAD demo. Now, AutoCAD is a software that we use for creating our drawings, publishing them, and creating major detailings in these drawings. Now, these details range from anywhere between minor furniture details to major urban level plan details, plan and site plan variants. Alright, so before we begin, before we jump in the software, this is the starting screen that we see. Now, there are three things that we see on the screen right now. On the starting from the left, we see the getting started dialog box, we see the getting started tools, the recent documents, and the notifications and connect. Now, notifications and connect is not of very much use to us as it uses the internet functionality for this software, and which we are not interested in using as it provides very less to very none functionalities to us. So going back to recent documents, now over here you see all the documents that you previously used on AutoCAD, all the documents that you've previously used or previously opened on AutoCAD. So to make a new file, you always go to the get started tab of it, right? The gray box that we're seeing over here. So I click on it. Now once I've clicked on it, you see that I have a blank screen in front of me, right? Just a second. Yeah, so I have a blank screen in front of me. So over here on the top bar that we see is the ribbon or the options bar. Over here it says home, insert, annotate, parametric, view, manage, and there's a lot of tools that come in handy when we work with AutoCAD over here. Okay, so the home tool essentially has the drafting tools, then it's got the dimensioning tools, then it's got the layering tools, and then it's got the line weight and the line type and the aesthetics of the tools, right? So that is how it is arranged, and that is how we have arranged our commands to function, right? And you'll be learning it that way. So now before we start drafting, we need to know what the basics of this tab are. I mean, for example, what are the units that we'll be using, right? How many save iterations will we have to make? What format the file is getting saved in, right? So to know all this, let's jump into the options dialog box, which I get from pressing OP and enter. So now one more thing when you started to learn AutoCAD is that enter and spacebar do the same job, right? But it is just that spacebar comes in handy while you need to draft in speed, and because the travel distance from your fingers to the enter button is greater than from your thumb to the spacebar, right? So since from the beginning, just make it a habit to press spacebar with your thumb while drafting. It will give you a greatly improved drafting time, which you'll realize only later on. So over here in the options box, I have a lot of tabs. I have files, display, open, save, plot, publish, system, user preferences, and whatnot. So the files tab does not need to be disturbed. Let it be. Go to the display tab. Now under the display tab, I have display resolution on the right hand side. Okay, so under this you go to arc and circle smoothness, change it from 1000 or whatever the value is in your PC, change it from that to 20,000. So what this does is that if you've noticed, if you draw a shape on a software and you keep zooming into it, after a certain point of time you start to see its edges, the edges of a curved shape, right? So this option, what it does is that it disables those edges or makes them smooth to a value of 20,000. Okay, so you can keep scrolling in 20,000 times and you won't see the edge. It will be smooth till then. That is what it does. Okay, now once that is done, you can come down, go to crosshair size. Now crosshair is the cursor or the arrow that you see, the plus symbol that you see on your drawing, that is called the crosshair. Now for me, I have kept the size to be 100 because I'm way more used to it, and also because I have a larger size of the screen. If you have a smaller screen, you can reduce the crosshair size. it depends completely on what is comfortable with you and what you are used to doing. So for me, I'll keep it to be 1000. I go to again window elements, which is the first tab of the box. I come down to display file tabs. Now, what are file tabs? File tabs are basically like Google Chrome has its own set of tabs which you can see on the top bar. Exactly. So AutoCAD also has those tabs. You just need to enable them, and you can see all your open windows in one strip right next to each other. So you don't need to go to start bar and click on the other window all the time. You can directly do it from inside the application, inside the software. So I click on it, enable it. Now go to open and save. Now in open and save, now the first option that I see is save as, right? So I always keep the save as output format to be AutoCAD 2010. Alright, because what happens usually is that, suppose you make a drawing, you prepare a sheet, you prepare a drawing, and you take it to the printing shop to get it plotted or whatever, or you want to publish it someplace, you want to transfer it to a friend, or you want to transfer it to a colleague. But what happens a lot of times is that they don't have the updated version of AutoCAD which you are using, right? So they're not able to view it, they're not able to open it, they're not able to view it, they're not able to edit it. For that to not happen, we need to save our files in a lower version. It does not hamper with any sort of functionality, it does zero damage to the file, it only saves it in a lower version, right? So that if we save it in a lower version, they will be for sure able to open it, and then tomorrow no one can say to you that, so the file you sent is, or ma'am, the file you sent is in a higher version. So I go and save it in AutoCAD 2010, and and then come down to file safety precautions. There's automatic save that you see over here, which says 1 minute between saves. So I go ahead and change that to 5 minutes. Now you can do this according to whatever way you are drafting in, but I'll tell you, as a good practice, as a format of a good practice or a thumb rule, keep your autosave time small if you are using a larger file. So the larger file you use, the lesser time you keep between automatic saves, because what AutoCAD does is that it crashes randomly. So to prevent your data from being lost, or to prevent your effort to being go down in drain, you need to keep a smaller save time, lesser save time, and always maintain a log file. It's just below that. Click on maintain a log file. From this you can recover the drawing that you have. I'll tell this to you in the later sessions. Now let's go to the next tab, which is plot and publish. We don't have any need for it right now, so let's go to system. Alright, now in the system we have graphic performance. So if you have a good PC, if you have a good laptop with a heavy graphic card, you can turn this on and turn on every single one of them. If not, what you can do is keep the hardware acceleration on, just deselect the last 4 options. It will give you high quality geometry and smooth line display. You will see how it works once you press on it. Your highlights and your drafting styles will change accordingly. Alright, so for me, I am keeping all of these on. I press OK, and now moving forward, I go to user preferences. Now these are user preferences. Okay, one thing which is important in this is that the units that we are drafting in, right? Now we have 2 types of units over here. One of them is source content, and the next is target drawing. So the source content unit is the unit that you input through your keyboard. Okay, so that is that, and the target drawing unit is the unit that comes out on your screen. So if I suppose have a source content unit to be in inches, and I want my output to be in meters, alright, I can do that. If I press 2 over here, it will make 2 meters. But you don't usually do that, as it is a very confusing way of drafting, a very confusing way of drawing things. So we usually keep all the units in the same family. So inches to feet. Or if I want it to be, not feet, inches. Over here also I want it to be in inches. If I want it to be in meters, I keep all of them in meters. We don't change this. We usually keep this the same. both of them the same. Okay, so moving on, I go to drafting. Now, in case all of these are not selected, are not checked, you need to go and check on all 4 of here and 3 of here, because you know what happens at times, your auto snap box doesn't show. You won't be able to select points, you won't be able to snap, you won't be able to know where your selection is going, right? So you need to select all 4 of these, and you can alter the size of the pick box and the aperture size. You can alter it according to your preferences. Moving on, 3D modeling, no use for us. Selection, no, just let it be the way it is. You can only change the size of the boxes or whatever if you require extremely. Else, it's alright, it's no problem. Then there goes profiles. You can add this to a profile, but I haven't added mine because I don't want it to go online. Apply all these changes and press on OK. Now to begin with, I have a few options over here which say display the drawing grid, then which says snap mode is off. Alright, and there's a lot more contents that we have over here. So just let's go through this once more for the first time. Yeah, so you know what, only put essential things on your drawing window. That should be your thumb rule. Whenever you're drafting anything, whenever you're starting a new software, only put the most essentials on your screen, because you know what happens, it gets a lot crowded. It gets crowded a lot. Alright, and a lot of times it may happen that you're just not unable to find that option you're looking for. You just want to turn the grid off, but you're not able to find it on the screen, right? So you need to press a command for it. That makes the process lengthy. So just to beat that, you need to keep only the things that you require on screen. Now for me, I only require my model space to be seen. Alright, my grid toggle to be on screen, my snap mode to be on screen, info constraints, drafting input, dynamic input, ortho, object snap tracking, 2D object snap, and line weight. Alright, also there is a workspace switching option that I have available over here, but I rarely use some other workspaces, so I might as well just go ahead and turn that off. Right, there's graphic performance, which I can turn off, keep the toggle over here or just make it disappear. I'm removing it. I remove the clean screen option also. So now what is display drawing grid? I turn it off. You see the difference? The checkered pattern behind your screen has gone off. It's disappeared. That is the grid, right? And right next to it is snap mode. Now what this snap mode does is that it snaps your points to the grids behind you, and it makes it very uncomfortable for you to draw. So you in no case want that to be on. So for that, you make sure all the time that it is turned off. Alright, because it gives rise to a lot of incorrect and non-precise drafting methods, which you only realize once you've exported the model in some other software. Now going ahead with info constraints. Alright, I usually keep that on because it helps me in drafting. You must have seen the difference, right? Now if this is off, I just put a command over here and see that it shows me a value right next to it. It shows me the dimension of the line, how long the line is when this is off. And when I turn it on, it shows me the exact, just a second, yeah, it shows me the exact point, the exact coordinates of it. Now I turn it off, there is no coordinates. I turn it on, there's coordinates, right? So that is that. Now I like to keep it turned on all the time. And I then erase it. I erase things by pressing E and spacebar, or E and enter, or directly pressing delete. Alright. Now there is the next one which says dynamic input. So see what dynamic input is. I want to draw a line. Alright. and it is also showing me the dimension of it in this blue and white colored font over here, right? Once I turn the dynamic input off, it will no longer show me that dimension. Do you get it? Dynamic input on, it shows me dimension. Dynamic input off, it doesn't show me dimension. It happens, it is applicable in any and every tool that you use. The dynamic input tab needs to be on in order to make your drafting even more precise, and in order for you to understand better what you're drafting and how big or what scale you're drafting in, because the dimensions will be right in front of you. So let's keep that on. There is another thing, ortho mode it's called. It enables us to draft orthogonally. What does orthogonal drafting mean though? Orthogonal drafting means basically to draft in the multiples of 90, right? You will only be able to draft vertical lines and horizontal lines. If you turn this off, your lines start to diverge with your angles. So I turn that on for a few times, and as and when it requires me to get them out of my site, I just go and turn them off. Now I have another option with me over here which says snap tracking settings. Alright, let's not disturb that. I'll be talking about that in the later sessions. So I'll just go to direct. I just jump to snap cursor. I have this drop down list that I can see over here. I go to object snap settings. Alright, over here I go to select all. Alright, the more object snap modes are selected, the more precise your drafting is. It is basically that. Alright, but what happens is that a lot of times there is suppose you want to you are in some complex shape or something, you're making something very complex, alright, and so many drafting points are disturbing you, so you can just go and deselect the most useless ones. Like you don't need parallel lines a lot of times, you don't need tangents a lot of times, you don't need extension lines a lot of times, insertion a lot of times, or quadrant for that matter, but let's keep it because it is useful in a circle format. Geometric center, you need yes. Midpoints, endpoints, yes. Nodes, yes. Intersection, probably not so much, so I'll just disable it. The nearest tab, yes, you need it. Perpendicular, not so much. Alright, so that is that. Now I go ahead and press OK in this. Yeah, and now I'm all set to draft. But before that, I need to just check the units of my drawing. So now I can access that tool by clicking UN and spacebar, UN enter. If you see over here, the length, angle, scale and output and lighting factors are just shown to me on the screen, right? I go to length, I go to decimal, right? Now if I am doing an architectural drawing, if I am using the scale to be inches and feet, I cannot keep my units in decimal format, right? I need them to be stacked, or I need them to be in fractions. Fractions and stacked are the same. But I go ahead and click on architectural because it changes the precision. You'll just see from down here. Now, what to keep the precision to be? I usually keep it 0 to 1/4, right? Because 1/4 is a fairly understandable precision, and if I go anywhere beyond that, suppose 1/8 or 1/16, it is too small to perceive on a scale by a person who's working on the site. That is why 1/4 of an inch, yeah, precise enough, it is perceivable. But if it goes below that, 1/8 of an inch, that is hardly, I don't know how much, that is of no use to us. So I go ahead and click the 1/4 option. I can keep it to be in inches, millimeters, feet, or whatever. I'm using inches, I'm used to using inches and feet, so I just change my insertion scale to inches, right? And there's lighting for 3D shapes if we draft any. Angles, decimal, degrees. Now degrees are the most familiar angle units that we use, so let's keep it to decimal degrees and precision to be 0. I press OK, and now I'm finally ready to draft. So this was the page setup for AutoCAD. You don't need to do it always. It is just if you're starting a new drawing, it is just something you need to check before you begin with it as a point of a good practice. Because a lot of times what happens, once you've prepared a file in AutoCAD, once you've made all these changes and started drafting with one thing, you usually open that same file and then make something new in it. You don't always go and open a new file in AutoCAD. That is what happens with a lot of softwares. That you don't open a new file in a lot of softwares, specifically AutoCAD, because it requires you to do a lot of settings beforehand and a lot of toggles that you need to set off, a lot of controls that you need to get a hold of. That is why we usually, once a person starts drafting, once you are accustomed with AutoCAD, you rarely open a new file, because the same, you have your set of dimensions assigned in that file, in that particular file, your set of layers assigned in that particular file. You don't want to do that all over again, right, in a new file from scratch. So that is why once these toggles are set, I draft something, I save it, and I'm done. I'm not opening a new file again. If you're wondering what this is called a polyline. I can draft this by clicking PL and enter. PL and whatever size I want, 20 feet for example. Then I go down 20 feet for example. This is a polyline for me. 20 feet in horizontal dimension and 20 feet in vertical dimension. You'll learn more about this in the classes, as this is just a a demo session. I'll be stopping this over here, as we have planned to teach all the further things in the further classes. I need to get this out of my sight. Usually what we do is that move the axis from the center of the screen to the bottom of the screen, because it disturbs your drafting. So I've done that, and I'm ready to go with AutoCAD. I hope you learned something. I hope you understood a basic concept of what AutoCAD is and how to set a page up. Right now, this was a demo, but once you join the class, once we know what is in the classes, I'll be talking about everything, all the tools that you see from here to here, basically that. And also I'll be talking about how you make layers and how to work in layers and how to use the layout tab. The most important thing is that how to use the layout tab. So what the layout tab does is that it creates a sheet for you. It creates a template sheet for you, right? So you go over here and you just put up a viewpoint and you show what you have drafted on the model tab, and it shows up in the sheet. So this is a paper. This is an A1 size paper that we have over here. You can make any number of layouts, 5, 6, 10, 12, any number of layouts we can make. So suppose there is a bungalow that you have designed. You can put all the type of plans and all type of plans, sections, elevations, and everything, whatnot in the model space, and then you go to layout 1. Probably your layout 1 could be your brick drawing. Probably your layout 2 can be your slab drawings. Probably your layout 3 could be your sections and elevations, or whatever, or tile drawings. Or if you're working on interiors, probably there could be like several types of sheets that you have, several details on several sheets. You can just make it that way over here, and you don't need to all the time make a rectangle which is the size of an A1 and then print it and then go to the printing options and go through them all over again. You can just set a CTV and set a drafting style and set a printing style which can be applicable in each and every file of yours. That's how precise and effortless working in AutoCAD is. So thank you for listening to this demo. I hope you have learned something. I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you once again. See you in the classes from 26th. Bye.